the giraffe. Using their foot-long tongue, kind of like a large hand, munching the stronger leaves and grasses nearby. Tongues so long, they'll use them to clean their eyeballs and noses. Both sorts will stand about 5 feet tall, named after the yellow coloration on their beak looking like a saddle, rattling their beaks to speak to one another. While the greater kudu will stand about 5 feet high to just their shoulders, known for their agility skills. White birds with the larger beaks and feet are going to be the pink-backed pelicans, hanging out in large groups or families known as a pod. With that beautiful pink coloration hidden on their back, just under the wings, it kind of looks like they're blushing during nesting season, which is when the pink color grows the brightest. On average, pods will have more than 500 individuals within their families. Super social species, just like the vultures here, part of the cleanup crew of Safi River, helping the area stay nice and clean, especially for the larger animals that you may have got a glimpse of back there. River and find some Nile crocodiles. Very large carnivore, known to grow to be about 16 feet long. Now they're known for their powerful jaw strength, as they'll eat lots of meat. They're only nurturing to their young, in which they'll cradle their eggs out and hatch, trigger their young in their jaws, protect them from any potential danger nearby. Here in Africa, known for their white bellies, but also the little bit of that shiny skin under the neck, known as their dewlap. You'll find just inside the den the African painted dogs. A little bit different than your typical dog by at home, as they're amazing hunters. Or pair within their packs, and because they're able to communicate fairly well with one another, they're much more successful hunters than even lions at times. Part of the canine species, a little bit different than other canines. While some other animals much prefer to hang out here in the sun right next to these large mounds. These are termite mounds, created by termites with dirt, dung, and spit. Once the sun dries them up, they can be as strong as concrete, making great scratching posts for larger animals for their horns, but also for some smaller animals to hop up onto and get a nice bird's eye view of the savanna. On your right-hand side, you'll actually see a very large antelope, the eland. Elands will stand about 6 feet high to just their shoulders, known for their agility skills, gracefully hopping on over any of their obstacles in their way, like those termite mounds, as they can jump about 6 feet high. Weighing about 2,000 pounds, they're a pretty large, mighty antelope there. But if we get close enough while they're walking around, their knees will actually click, which is a pretty cool sound to hear. 13 feet long, reach about 16 miles per hour, making springbok one of the top 10 fastest land animals on Earth. Especially when prompting one of their unique jumps. They'll arch their backs almost like a scared cat to jump like so. A very rare sight to see, as they only tend to do so when spent or trying to get far away from any potential danger nearby. These are all full-grown springbok that's as big as they're going to get, helping them stay nice and short. Taller animals will actually munch on all these leaves way up high, creating some shade for these animals that can't reach those leaves. Sounds like we're going to be slowly, pulley, hopefully moving around the bends here after a slight giraffic jam. Especially with all the shade nearby, some animals can get quite active, hanging out in the road or crossing through the road. Looks like we'll be moving here in just a moment to get a much better view of the elands and Hartman Mountain zebra on your right. Now, all those stripes of Hartman Mountain zebra are going to be unique, kind of like your own fingerprints, helping them ID who is who. But that way, if a predator is nearby, they can just quickly hang out super close to one another, making it quite hard for the predator to pick out who is who. Pretty useful tactic there. Animals like springbok will also do that, but of course, lots of animals have to move very quickly to stay far away from dangers here. The tallest land animal on Earth, the giraffe. Now, your animal spotting guides are going to say reticulated giraffe, which is a little bit different than the Maasai giraffes you're seeing today. Maasai giraffes are going to have smooth, round spots. The reticulated giraffes are going to have smooth, round spots, while the Maasai giraffes here are going to have spots that almost look like paint splotches, a little ridged on their edges. Both part of the giraffe species, the tallest land animal on Earth, staying about 16 to 20 feet tall. With the extra foot of length on their tongue, you see all day long, only sleeping a total of 30 to 90 minutes a day out of a whole 24-hour period. Not a lot of sleep, so they love to eat, creating these beautiful tree lines, providing shade for small animals like the Ankole cattle, nicknamed the Watusi cattle, after the Watusi tribe that first domesticated them for those large horns growing about 6 feet tip to tip. Surprisingly, very lightweight though, as they have a large honeycomb structure inside. Kind of close, they'll do the same with their horns, helping them ID who is who. On your left, you'll find the rest of the tower or family of Maasai giraffes just hiding in between those trees. while the baby Masai giraffe is going to also receive that water. This is where baobab trees will get their other nickname, known as the Tree of Life. Very low grumbles that us humans can't hear at all, but they can hear just fine due to their sensitive hearing. Now, of course, baobab trees are a really great place to grab water, but another great place is just down below. Hence their name, crater flamingos are one of the taller of their species, standing about 5 feet tall, with this really pretty light pink coloration on their feathers, which in general comes from their diet known as brine shrimp. Brine shrimp has a protein known as beta-carotene, which gives them all that pink color that you'll see, which is why when they're first born, they'll either have white or gray feathers. Other species of flamingo, due to their smaller size, you can have that darker pink saturated color to them. White rhinos are a very large species of rhino, each one weighing about 5,000 pounds. The Afrikaans word bite, meaning wide, describes their lip shape as it's quite wide and flat, perfect for them to munch on the lighter grasses of the savannas. While their horns are going to be made of keratin, the same protein as your hair and fingernails, quite strong when all come together like so. But along with their wide and flat lips, they also have some very wide and flat feet, resting on their tippy toes, allowing them to tippy toe around 30 to 40 miles per hour. Very quietly though, so you don't usually hear them running around. Very beautiful species of rhino. However, they're pretty quick. We may be lucky to spot somebody a little bit faster, just in the middle of this hillside here. Cheetahs are going to be the fastest land animal on Earth, reach about 60 to 70 miles per hour in just 3 seconds. Since they are a larger feline, they can also hop up into the trees to catch prey, but instead of meowing like cats at home, they'll actually chirp more so like a bird to speak to one another, which is a pretty cool sound to hear. They are a crepuscular species though, making them hard to see, as you'll spot another one on that back left. Crepuscular just means that they tend to be a little bit more active early mornings, late evenings when it's a little bit cooler out.